with the Shen, as last second, the adjustment made on the Rakan, definitely not wanting to give that one over to the side of Afrika Freaks. Unlikely to be picked, but still a possibility.
Trundle comes through eventually. They're just thinking about that Rakan so much. Really wanted to pick him up first, steal it away. The Nocturne's there to take, but do you want to draft it in to the Trundle? Maybe go for something else like the Kindred, who's a lot better against the Trundle.
Yeah, I'd mentioned it, that Spirit is ultra confident on this pick, and the Nocturne's been misfiring a bit recently.
Yeah.
So it will be the Kindred, so probably going to be a bit of the temperature turned up on Ambition this game. Recently, the Trundle matchup into Kindred has been going Trundle's way after being seen as a counter pick earlier in the split. Spirit has had a great split on the Kindred. He's been one of the best in the LCK, and that Zoe you already mentioned, with no Nocturne to fly in and shut her down during the laning phase, does feel like plain sailing for the Zoe right now. Will Fly return to the Galio that may have won in game number 2, but certainly wasn't a great individual game for Fly?
Well, certainly thinking about that Galio here, it seems like the obvious choice.
The other choice for him would be Orianna, but I thought that might be a later round pick than first round. People are starting to like this after Fly did it. Orianna into the Zoe, because when she tries to harass you with the portal jump, you just put the QW onto the original spot and you get a very decent trade. Now that Dissonance has been buffed, he also has 2 great ball carriers in the Rakan and the Trundle. So a little bit bold to go for a first round Orianna, but into this matchup, it's something that Gen.G have been pioneering.
This guy's here on his arm.
It's a lot of a front line, and Ruler does love his Kog'Maw, even if it hasn't been winning for Gen.G. But they actually just go utility. It's not against the Nocturne. That's where we usually see the Ashe come through from Ruler, but it's another initiation tool. They definitely have a bounty of them.
Really like the Ashe. I think it fits in really well with what they have already. You have that good front line to block the Zoe spells. The Kindred's going to have a hard time getting to your back line.
Speaking of blocking, they look at Gen.G and say, man, a Mundo would go pretty well with this draft, and they're trying to block Mundo by blind picking the Darius on the side of Afrika Freaks.
The Nar's left available if they want to try to go ahead and take that up there, but let's see what else they'll consider, as they do have the counter pick for the top lane. Afrika thinking about what to set their draft up with here.
Aiming's pick is what you're left with. Aiming going to be on the Vladimir this time. Kramer has played a bot lane Darius game, but this is trying to counter a potential Mundo pick. Well, Cuvée says thank you very much. It's going to go back to the Kennen. AD or AP is a consideration here. I think both of them have some level of validity. What does Afrika Freaks do? Because they might actually try Darius bot lane, because Vladimir beats Kennen in the 1v1. This would actually be a last-second flex if they do it. Aiming is usually the recognized Vladimir player. Kane just playing it in the previous game. Let's wait and see what the decision is here by Afrika Freaks.
Based on what they played, as you just mentioned, this would be the way they set it up. You know, Aiming is definitely a Vlad player, and Keen is certainly a Darius player. And that's what is going to come through here. They're not just going to try to get fancy. I like it here for Game 3.
Can get really tricky and pull those things off, but the Vladimir game in Game 2 was a loss, so not feeling like they want to return to it. And Ruler could potentially be all-in, of course. A taunt flash into Vladimir Hemo.
First blood up here. No teleport from anyone else on Gen.G, and Cuvée in a ton of trouble here. He's going to try to ultimate on in, but down he will go eventually. There it is. He needs an extra turret shot. They just burn Lamb's Respite just in case. But that will be first blood going over to Afrika.
I think it's the right decision. Using it there, I believe he would have gone down to the turret shuttle. Definitely would have been within 20 HP. Speaking of 20 HP, we're seeing Gen.G just pile onto bot side, trying to get first brick here.
That's a nice little response. You know, you're not going to get the kill down onto Aiming and Tucson, who have everything available, but at least we'll try to fight.
Brick brings 3 deaths. This will be the mid lane turret as well. They were in control of the game. That control's gone.
Oh man, that was just a crazy series of events from downtown. Ruler says hello. Let's see how it all happened. Kuro trying to beat him in, lands the bubble, and you think this is going to go well for Afrika.
Cleanse Flash available though for Fly. And while Keen knows he's going to register the apprehend, flies next to a wall, he gets over it. Spirit says, I have the ultimate, I'll be fine. But he's getting cut by 2 people. Ruler examines the situation and says, I wonder if I can kill Kuro. He can.
Oh, right on the money, too. It wasn't even a lull hitbox or anything. It was just, remember, that Love's hiding in the bush. And Ruler might be in a bit of trouble here. Not even going to go for that one. Is going to flash over the wall. And aiming, looking to go in, but Ruler trying to turn it around is not able to in the end. And aiming alongside Tucson will finally be able to 2v1 the Ash.
Nice play by the side of Afrika. Ruler thought he was in the free and clear, and with his Hawk shots and summoners up, you could understand why, but he was not.
Flash, oh, but there you go, trying to go in here is Keen, is gonna get knocked up in a huge shockwave into the back line. Here's Juve too, gonna stun everybody up, and the Lazarus fight is good, and look at the Darius on the front line, doing huge amounts of damage. Ruler though is kiting everybody, nearly takes out Kuro, is not able to in the end, but Afrika able to win the fight. A fantastic Lazarus fight, keeps them all alive.
And it baits in Juve as well, even though he does big damage. He also falls low, and in the back end, the apprehend from Keen. Team fight Darius was fantastic in this fight. Watch the replay and how it all develops. This is a level 16 Darius, who is the only person who's had a good early game on the side of Afrika. Ambition. This is the second time in 3 games he has gone for just far too bold a play. Juve sees the low health members and thinks, I can kill the Darius, this is my time. It's not his time. The apprehend is delicious from the Darius. Beautiful play from him.
Scrumptious.
Not often you would say that about an apprehend. Reachify. Finally, 2 marks have been completed as we now see a camp further up marked. Gen.G onto the Mountain Drake.
Trying to hop over the wall there with Spirit, is not going to get the smite as it goes over to Cannon. Oh, look at this, the flank though, 5 members coming on in, but they get the damage onto the Darius. He can't do anything. Aiming is going to go into it and give his life away. Tucson as well, everybody baited into that flank. Does not work out, and Gen.G get the second Mountain Drake and 3 kills to boot.
Well, sometimes you give it, sometimes you take it away. Big mistake from Keen. There's no way for Spirit and Kuro to combine with the flank he was trying to pull off. It's too easily diagnosed by Gen.G. They are still 5 men strong, and now they want the Baron.
Yeah, definitely not the fight they were looking for. They would love to group up for Lamb's Respite and get a similar one to the fight previous to that one, but they give away a Mountain Drake, 3 kills and a Baron, and Gen.G looking unbelievably strong and favored to win this last game.
Ball onto the Ash, and turret damage so easy as, all right, here we go. They
the flank
have to do
coming in, they really want to get Ruler, but the Vladimir just disappears off the map, and Ruler is totally safe. A huge shockwave again, and Gen.G making a statement this time, saying, we are better than Afrika, and we deserve to be in second place. They're going to take the team fight and take the win.
And Gen.G are going to go 9-3 and join Griffin on the same match score. They're going to kill around the Zoe. They're going to win, and it's well-deserved for Generation Gamers.
Domination here in game number 3. That's all you can call it. Ruler and Court JT extending a high five to each other, saying they really deserve to have that one. The duo played fantastically down there. There you have it. Certainly well-deserved. Afrika, definitely a series to scratch your heads about. A couple of big mistakes from Kuro and Keen back-to-back in games 2 and 3. That shouldn't be happening for a team that we thought would maybe even make the finals again here in summer.
And a big vote of confidence for the Orianna pick from Fly. It's his second game on the pick. He was the first of summer season. He will be far from the last, even though he has the last laugh in this game. Their fundamentals are strong as a team, and teams are trying inventive strategies to stop the fundamentals of a marksman and a control mage. This time they come up short, because if you don't pull off the execution early enough, if the scaling comp gets ahead, these are the results so often as the Vladimir goes down, pool or no.
And aiming, he was one of our undefeated Vladimir players. He lost in their last series 1, so he was 4-1, but now 2 extra losses on the Vlad. So no longer is his Vlad untouchable. He's 4-3. We've seen top teams take him down the ass, especially in the bottom lane. You can see what they were doing from level 1 even to shut down the Vladimir and make sure he couldn't get any big flanks later on to the game, to make sure he could not scale. And Ruler's Ash, man, I think he 100% deserves the second MVP here for
GEN have played more games. They're 19 and 11, but it's only those 2 game victories that separate Griffin and GEN, and GEN have found a way to stabilize what seemed like a season that was slipping away from the squad a few matches ago.
These guys, you know, some points along the way, they're going to have trouble. It's a really competitive league that we do have over here. It's no surprise. Even GEN can drop games, but definitely solidifying themselves, as you mentioned. And another guy over here, Fly, coming on in. We weren't sure what to expect from him, but he has been really comfortably joining this GEN lineup and giving him the reliability in the mid lane.